Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well and taking care, and welcome to this brand new Doctor Who video. So today we're doing a live podcast kind of thing, if you want to call it that. But basically I am joined by a special guest on the channel. He's been on the channel quite a few times before. He does lots of Doctor Who content like myself. I'll let him introduce himself now, but it is of course Go Doctor Who.
Hello, yeah, it's amazing to be on board again in another video, and yeah, up for talking about anything and everything Doctor Who related. So yeah, hi.
Hello. So yeah, I have left a link to Go Doctor Who's YouTube channel, and he is nearly at 600 subscribers. So if you can, after this video, please check the link below and give his channel a subscribe, because he definitely deserves to reach 600 subscribers. So let's try and get him there by the end of the month. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much. That'd be amazing. Yeah, we're trying to get there hopefully before series 13 starts. So yeah.
Good stuff. So yeah, today we're just going to talk a little bit about who we would like to see as a new showrunner. After that, we're going to talk about the new Doctor and who we think potentially could be up for the job. And then we're going to finish off by talking about the 60th anniversary and just giving our thoughts on what we think might happen for the special occasion. But yeah, I guess we'll start with new showrunner. So who would be your top choice for the next showrunner job in the world of Doctor Who?
Yeah, I think I'm not particularly sure on the names, but there's this woman that's been announced recently quite a lot through Twitter. I don't know if you've seen it. I think you might have done a video on it. I'm not sure, but
Is it Sally Reitman? Is that her?
it might be. Yeah, she's been plastered over Twitter recently. I think
Oh, but her.
she'd be interesting choice, I guess, because obviously she's done drama before and stuff, so that'd be interesting. But there's this guy who's done not sure on the showrunner names, but like he's done Being Human, and he's also done School Reunion and a few Doctor Who episodes. I think he's my favourite showrunner if we could get him. Do you know his name?
Yeah, his name's Toby Whithouse, I believe. And
Yeah.
yeah, he done Being Human. He's done quite a few episodes during the RTD era, I think, didn't he? I think the
Yeah,
last one he wrote was Peter Capaldi's era, I'm sure.
yeah, he was really good. I've really enjoyed every episode he's done. Plus, in Being Human, he managed to do the sci-fi aspect and real life really well and flourished the characters out for 5 series, and it was just a massive hit. So, hopefully, if he would be able to do that with Doctor Who, that would be my number one. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, that's a good choice. I've never seen Being Human. I'm sure I remember watching some of it when I was younger, but I feel that's something the Doctor Who needs at the moment is a return to kind of getting sci-fi and real life on balance, because I don't know how you feel, but at the moment it does kind of feel like it's kind of lagging in both areas. The sci-fi is good, could be better, and then the real life stuff with the characters is good, but could be better. I'm not sure if you agree with that or not, that it could be a bit better in this era.
Well, I think personally, like I think a lot of people noticed. I actually didn't notice, but every episode's been on Earth apart from Gallifrey. So I'd be like,
That's a
"Where's
good
the
point.
planets at?" So
Yeah, because
yeah.
even Orphan 55 from last series, was that not starting off on an alien planet, and then it turned out to be planet Earth anyway by the end of the episode.
Yeah, I think they were like they were trying to make it as a twist or something, weren't they? But like that's meant to be our future in some way. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we're missing something with the alien aspect. Like we need some alien worlds, or like Clara when with 11,
Yeah,
she went on that alien world and tried new alien food and stuff like that. That was just interesting, and hopefully we get that with a new Doctor at least.
I completely agree. Even Ghost Monument, people seem to really like that episode, but I find it very bland, especially when you compare it to Smile, which was Bill's first adventure, and also Clara's as well. So yeah, I definitely agree. I feel this era, it's been good, but there definitely could have been improvements, especially in Series 11, which was definitely a bit of a mess series. The villains weren't great at all.
Yeah, one thing I'd say this era is missing as well is the family dynamic, because like
Yeah.
we've seen a bit of Yaz's family, but we haven't seen that much. And like I think a big miss is Yaz's sister's kind of the same age. I would love a Yaz and a sister like one-off adventure or something. That'd be interesting, I thought. But yeah, I think they're missing a
Yeah,
trick.
yeah, because I thought originally they might have Yaz's sister join as the new companion. I thought that would be quite a good idea. But obviously they
Yeah.
didn't do that. I don't know if you've heard, but now Yaz's sister's apparently doing a Big Finish audio as well. So obviously she's gone on to do other things, which isn't great when she's got the main show. So it kind of proves they need to do more with characters in the show.
I didn't know that, to be fair. That's interesting. But then Big Finish nab everyone up. So it, yeah,
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
good luck to her. Yeah.
But yeah, my top choice for showrunner, it's not my top choice, but who I think is most likely would be Pete McTeague. You've probably heard of him before. He did Kerblam from Series 11, and then he did Praxis from Series 12. But the good thing about Pete is you've probably seen them yourself, but he does the collection box set trailers. Like, he writes a lot of them. So
Ah,
he wrote the one with Ace coming back, and then most recently season 24, which was obviously with Sylvester McCoy. So he obviously knows quite a lot about classic Who. So I think he potentially could be quite good. He's also done a new show on BBC called The Pact. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's got a very good reaction. So I think out of everybody, he's probably the most likely, if that makes any sense.
yeah, like, well, he's written for Jodie, so he's done something new. Plus, if he's that dedicated doing the big finish, but doing the classic box sets, then he knows the history, and I think that's the best thing for a showrunner, knowing your history, so you don't have to keep looking back at what everyone else has done. You already know it, instead of getting a new showrunner who doesn't know anything. It's good to have back knowledge with all that, so that would be definitely a good pick, to be fair. So yeah.
Yeah, I think he would be good. My only concern with Pete is he is part of the current era, and obviously I've talked about this on the channel before, but obviously I've got a big issue with some elements of this era, especially the exposition. There's a lot of dumbing down in this era, and one of my concerns with Pete is, would he continue that trend? Would he make the new era feel that different, especially if he keeps all the current writers and doesn't change it up? There is a risk of it not being a very different feeling of era, if that makes sense.
Yeah, from, well, his Kablam episode, which I remember. Has he written anything else at all other than Kablam?
He wrote Praxis from Series 12, if you can remember it. It's a 6 episode, I think.
Right. So that tends to have twists in, doesn't it? Like, it's suddenly Earth, or it's suddenly that guy who was behind the robot. So I could imagine a lot of twists happening in his era. That would be interesting. But I'm not sure about the dialogue. I can't really remember how
Yeah.
he Jodie. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned with, would he make the next era feel different enough? Like, would he bring in a new writing team, or would he just keep it the same and then it risks not feeling that different? It's a little concern. Otherwise, I think Pete would be a pretty good choice, to be honest. I think he would bring a lot of classic Who elements back. He would be a good choice.
Yeah, I think we definitely, to no offense to the era we're in, but like, I want something fresh and new. So I definitely want new people on board. That would be like what you'd said, like, we need some new stuff. So I definitely would want that. However, I think I have a controversial opinion as well on the
Right?
music. Like, I think you've said
Or, yeah.
you like the music, whereas I'm not a fan of the music. So yeah, I would like a new composer, I guess, as well, hopefully.
Yeah, I do like Sagan. I guess how you say his name. I do like his stuff, but I get why people don't like it, because I do see a lot of people explain it as nightclub music, which I can understand. It's very bassy, electronic kind of music. Well, with Murray Gold, it was more emotional. You could connect to it more. I do agree with that. You could connect a lot more to Murray Gold stuff compared to Suggins, which is a bit more bassy, if that it makes sense, because it's a bit more of an electronic music person.
Yeah, I get, like, I just found it like it quite repetitive. It's like the same tone and like the humming noises. I don't know whether you get
Yeah,
the humming noises in the TARDIS is the
yeah,
same as Jodie's theme or something like that. But yeah, yeah, with Showrunner, I think that would be an interesting choice, to be fair. And yeah, I'd be up for it, I guess. But yeah.
the other person I think it could be from the current team is Maxine Aldrin. A lot of people are saying it could be her, because there was a rumor, it was on her CV, that she was going to be a core writer for Series 13, which means she's more a showrunner, like Chris Chibble, like the second person in charge, if you want to call it that. I don't know if that's still happening, because obviously the series has now been changed. But what would you think? Would you like to see Maxine Aldrin maybe the next showrunner?
Personally, I only know her from actually watching your videos. I
Yeah,
remember you discussing that. So I guess if she's picked up some traits from Series 13 and Series 13 doing as well, I'm up for her doing the smooth transition. But at the moment, we're all a bit like, oh God, we haven't got a showrunner or a doctor here, like, sort of thing. So I think maybe the best decision is get someone on board for a temporary scenario until we can find someone to continue it on, because the last thing we want to do is have a massive gap. So yeah.
I did hear someone say that. I can't remember who it was, but somebody said there was like a rumor that maybe they'll bring someone temporary in So maybe you'll bring back Moffat or Russell T Davies, more likely Moffat, I would say, if anyone. And they come in and do a series before the next showrunner takes over. I mean, it's a possibility. It's unlikely. I don't know if Moffat would do it. I don't think Russell would do it. No chance. But I guess that's something they could do, is bring a temporary writer in while they do a transaction period. They could do that.
I know there's one person who I definitely wouldn't want as showrunner, and that would be, sadly, Mark Gatiss. He's a mixed bag for me with his writing. I like him as an actor, but his mixed bag, like Ice Warriors and Sleep No More, was definitely not a thing for me. So yeah, that would be someone I definitely wouldn't want.
Yeah, Sleep No More. I remember that. I think I've only seen it once, but it was not a good episode. I did not enjoy it or connect with it at all. I get I'm experimenting, but for me, the episode was definitely a miss.
Yeah.
But I guess, have you got anything else to say about Showrunner? Have you got any other suggestions?
Sadly, no, because I never really pay attention. But I guess it's a big thing. Like they are kind of the say all end all sort of person. So I don't know really. I'm up for anyone. I guess it'd be nice to have a woman for a change, because it's always been man. But yeah, up for anyone really, as long as they make the characters interesting and they have ideas. They don't just go into it not knowing what they're doing. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. As long as we've got someone who is very creative and is hopefully going to make the next era feel a lot different, then I'm happy. As long as, even if it is Pete McTeague or Maxine Aldrin from the current team, as long as they bring in new writers and they change things up, new casts, everything else, yeah, I'm happy. As long as they make the next era feel a lot different and make improvements to the current era.
Yep.
So I guess we'll move on to, obviously, the 14th Doctor, the big other question that everyone's talking about. So who would be your choice? I think I know who you're going to say, but who would be your choice for the 14th Doctor?
Well, I have like 3 suggestions, but mainly
Right.
like obviously Jodie Comer, because she's
I knew it was
incredible.
that.
Yeah, like honestly, her acting in Killing Eve is incredible. I've also seen her in My Mad Fat Diaries, I think it is, and
I
she's
remember that, yeah.
yeah, she's a young actor there, and she's still good. But then, like Killing Eve, she's excelled with the voices, and I can just imagine her playing the Doctor and then changing her accent to suit the time period, and that would just so work as well. Like her suddenly turning into a different. Wherever the TARDIS lands, her accent can change. That would be so interesting to see, because she's so good at it. Use them talents. So yeah.
I
But
agree.
what?
I think Jodie's a really good choice. I think, for me, I could just view her playing the Doctor like Matt Smith did, like having that childish side behind the Doctor, but also having that serious dark side. Because obviously, if you've seen Cullen Eve, you know that's pretty much what she does. She plays a more villainous character, but a lot of the time she's very childish. She can be quite nice in moments and then go to dark a second later. Like, I think she's a perfect choice. If she would do it, I don't know, because I'm sure she's in like a Hollywood movie now, so I'm not sure what her schedule looks like, but I feel like the BBC are going to go big with the next era and bring in a really big star to get the viewing figures up. She would definitely be a fantastic choice.
Yeah, I think she's definitely creeping up on movies. Like she was in, I didn't really notice, but she was in Star Wars playing Rey's mom.
Oh
There's a
yeah, I didn't notice her either, but I know she's in it. I need to rewatch it actually.
yeah. So like she's creeping up in certain franchises, and I think I may have heard her wanting to do something to do with Marvel. I'm not particularly sure. That might have been a different actor, but yeah, she's creeping up sadly, which means less chance for us as Doctor Who fans. But yeah. Also wouldn't mind, which also again Marvel's already got that character, so I don't think it might happen. But female Loki, I don't know whether you've watched Loki or not, but this female Loki that plays on, she's a really incredible actor that I think would work so well. I would really be intrigued to see how she portrays the Doctor as well. So yeah.
I haven't seen Loki. I need to get rid. I haven't finished like a Marvel watch or anything yet, but I have seen like that video you sent me. I think it's full fat videos, and they were
Oh
talking
yeah.
about the actress, and yeah, I think she'd be a pretty good choice. I guess it depends where they are right now. The BBC, like, have they got a showrunner? Because if they haven't and they're very behind, then I guess the BBC could look at people who have put their name forward, because I know she has, and then they could potentially look at her being the next Doctor. It's unlikely, but I think it's a possibility depending where they are in the process right now.
Yeah, I think we have many. I think it will be another British actor to play the role. But I think we are looking towards possibly another female. But yeah, I think also, as much as I would love it, I don't think Joe Martin would be the 14th Doctor,
Yeah.
just because I was listening to, I think, Full Fat videos, and they were like saying that basically the Roof Doctor wasn't actually meant to happen. Like, Chris Chibnall wrote the script and was like, actually, could we make her a doctor? And then we did that. Then we did that storyline. So that was actually spare of the moment. It weren't planned. So her signing on to be the Doctor, as much as it was awesome, I think she never planned to be in the first place when she was going to take on the role of Ruth. So I don't know whether she will be the 14th Doctor continuing on.
I saw that interview as well, and they're right. He did do an interview, I think it was with Radio Times, and Chris Chibnall said that basically it was a last-minute plan, which is a bit concerning because I know Stephen Moffat did that a lot. He planned a lot of things, and it didn't work out. So that's one of my concerns about if Joe Martin will come back for Series 13, because I'm more thinking if she was just used as a plot twist, then will she come back, or was she just used as a plot device, which wouldn't be great. I would love to see Joe Martin come back, but I don't think she'll be the 14th Doctor, not with a new showrunner. You've also got to look at it from a marketing perspective, that it would be so confusing to the general public introducing Joe Martin as the next Doctor, but she's already been introduced. Like, I just don't think it would work viewing figure-wise either. It needs to be a new actress, and I think Joe Martin, she deserves a spin-off series. That would be the more fair route, in my opinion, which I want to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Like, she sadly might be one of the ones like the Eighth Doctor or something like, or something like that would just want more of, but sadly never going to get. But she's incredible as a role, and if she was announced, I would be up for it. But like you said, it's all about creating the mystery. At the moment, us fans are going wild, like Doctor, showrunner, and stuff like that. But if it's someone we already know is coming, we kind of expect that, so the excitement kind of goes down a little bit. So yeah. But yeah, I'm up for anyone really, as long as they can really do some good acting, and just, yeah, I'm up for someone who may not even be well known yet. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I agree, because I remember with obviously Matt Smith, when he was introduced, there was a big backlash. People complained they didn't know who he was, it wasn't good enough, and it obviously proved to us completely wrong. So if they do go down that route and we don't know who it is, there's not really any reason to worry, because they're normally all good choices anyway. So I don't think there's any need for concern, because it's Doctor Who, it likes to hire new actors so that it can invest in their career.
Either way, we're all going to be prejudgy, because like I remember when David Tennant left, I was like, I seen Matt Smith in like an alleyway, like his first photo, and I remember going to my granddad and going, "Oh, he looks gothic. I don't like him." And then obviously it's amazing.
I remember that photo as well. I think a lot of people, I was the same. It was a bit like, that's a weird vibe. But then obviously when we got him on TV screen, completely different. So what would you think about the male and female argument? Like, do you want another female Doctor? Do you want a male Doctor? Do you not really mind?
Personally, I feel like I'm at the moment where I don't mind that much, but like part of me is just like, let's have another male, because it'd be opposite to that. But then I also got to deal with the fact that the haters are going to be like, "How it didn't work," so we've kind of got to. But it just feels like we're forcing one in. But also, I don't mind, honestly. Female, male, as long as they can act, I'm all up for it. And yeah, hopefully they beat the 3-year rule, because sadly Jodie's following the footsteps of many others with that 3-year rule and out.
Yeah, I was shocked when Jodie said she was leaving. Obviously, it was rumoured for a while, so it wasn't that much of a surprise. But when it was first announced in January, it was a bit like, cause I know Jodie done an interview during Series 12, and she was like, I'm planning to stay on for a long period of time. And then it was confirmed that obviously she was only planning to stay for 3 seasons all along, which does make you think, was this planned, or is this just a last minute change and they're saying it was
Yeah.
planned all along? I'm not really sure there.
Rule 1, the Doctor always lies. But yeah,
True.
I've heard like the haters. I've been watching a few hater comments, because I like to get aspects of other people's opinions as well as mine. I just find it interesting. So they're saying, oh, the Comic-Con was basically no one was excited because they didn't give much in the trailer, so that means the BBC decided to kick Chris Chibnall and Jodie out. I don't think that was the case. I think we have more of the case of maybe they had that 3-year plan of doing that and then going. But the one thing that's annoying me is the 60th. Like, basically, if they leave and we don't get a 60th, I kind of blame it on them, because like it's like them saying, "Oh, we're going to leave now. The 60th is happening," but yeah, we just leave that. We'll just leave that because we want to leave now, sort of thing. I feel like they should have waited till the 60th to actually end it all. So yeah, I don't know really. It feels odd at leaving just a year before the big celebrations.
Yeah, I get what you mean. We'll get to the six. We'll talk about the 60th obviously in a minute, and we'll talk about it in detail what we think is going to happen. But I agree. Them leaving is definitely it's a weird timing. It's going to be an interesting future for the show. But my top choice for the 14th Doctor, I don't know if have you heard of the actress Lily James before?
I'm not good with names. What has she been in?
She was in Mamma Mia, the recent film. She's also in that Pursuit of Love. It's a new BBC drama. I haven't seen it, but I heard she's really good in it. But I think she'd be a pretty good choice. I think she's quite a bubbly actress. I think she would play it similar to Jodie. I know a lot of people want a darker Doctor next, but for me, I'm kind of happy with a more childish, goofy, also kind of got a dark vibe behind her Doctor, similar to how Jodie Comer, I think, would play it. She would be my top choice, probably Jodie Comer, and then obviously Lily James. But I think she's another good choice as well there.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have seen Mamma Mia 2 once, and I'm not particularly sure
She's
of
in
the
that,
character. But yeah, I think sure, why not? Because if they're bubbly and fun, then that's interesting. So you don't want the Doctor to be dark all the time, so you need that bubbliness. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, but obviously if Doctor is a more I guess like the 12th Doctor was in Series 8. I wouldn't complain because I actually really enjoyed the 12th Doctor in Series 8. I know it's a bit controversial, but I really like the darker Doctor. So obviously if that happens, I'm not going to complain either way, really.
Yeah, I like him as well. I think he really worked well. It's just like the fluency of his era. Like he was suddenly bumbling buffoon in Series 9, but I think they got the balance in Series 10. So I'd be up for something more like that, serious and maybe funny as well. Yeah.
I get it. So obviously now we'll talk about the big one, the 60th anniversary. It's coming up in 2 years. We'll also talk about the special for next year. But what are your initial ideas? Like, what do you think is actually going to happen with the 60th anniversary?
We're all doomed. It's not happening.
Not good.
I have a dread. We're not gonna get Doctor Who at all, or we're gonna get Series 14 starting on that on the 23rd of November. I just feel like we're not getting a multi-Doctor story just because the actors are all busy. Plus, like I don't know, I just have this dread. Like it just feels odd. Jodie and Chris leaving a year before. It's like the BBC are not that fussed. They're like, oh, it's no big deal. We're just going to leave it this time. Whereas I've been excited since the 50th finished. I've been like, oh, we've got 10 years to go until the 60th. And now we're getting there. We're like, it's not happening. That's my dread. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm thinking my theory is what they might do is obviously next year, if you didn't know, we've got obviously the centenary special, I think that's how you pronounce it, where they're doing an anniversary episode for the 100th birthday of the BBC. And what I think they might do is do a multi-Doctor special next year on Jodie's final episode. So then that gives them an excuse for the 60th. So then in the 60th, they can just focus it either on the completely new Doctor, or as some rumours are stating, they might be doing like a planned hiatus till 2024 to let the new showrunner write the season, which I agree would be horrible. I don't want to go into the 60th having no Doctor Who at all, besides maybe a documentary. Like I want something at least, even if it is a
Yeah,
new series.
I think it says it all. If we go into the 60th, it's a bigger year than a normal year for Doctor Who, and to have nothing on, like I think that just says how the BBC are kind of treating them. Like, yeah, they gave us another episode, but that's for them really to celebrate themselves. So I don't know. Like I feel like the 60th for Doctor Who should be focusing on, if we're going to have a special, focus on the 60th, not 100 years for the BBC, because I don't know how this is going to be, because like I don't know how the BBC are going to start planning and celebrating this or what. But yeah, I've heard we're getting 90 minutes possibly. That would be interesting though. At least we get a long episode for Jodie. But
Where
yeah,
did
I
you
wonder.
where did you where did you hear that about? Is that a new rumor? There's not many
I've
rumors at the
seen
moment.
I've seen a few things on Twitter, and I swear they've said they extended it. I mean, maybe we're exaggerating. Maybe someone was exaggerating, but I've seen somewhere saying 90-minute, which would be like a movie, which would be cool. But I wonder what would be the reason Jodie regenerates. I wouldn't mind maybe a companion sacrifice, like she dives in the way to save Yaz or something. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I definitely think the special next year has big potential. But I do agree, I would prefer the special episode to have been the 60th anniversary. But I do have a feeling there's a good chance they might do a multi-Doctor special next year. So then again, in the 60th, they have an excuse not to celebrate it, which is the best. It's better than nothing, don't get me wrong. But obviously, they could have probably tried and extended Jodie's tenure, even if it was just New Year's Day 2023. At least then you could be like, it's the 60th anniversary year. Maybe that's what they should have done instead of
The,
the birthday
yeah,
next year.
I think the best outcome is if Jodie leaves 2022, we actually somehow get a multi-Doctor story with no current Doctor. We bring back, if they've got time, David Tennant, Matt Smith, find a schedule throughout 2023, early start of that year, or 2022, and film a 60th anniversary special with multi-Doctor story and get an old showrunner or something to write that story. Then we have a multi-Doctor story, and then for the new showrunner and new Doctor, we can start series 14 and they don't have to worry about it. Maybe give the 14th Doctor a little cameo, but we don't have a current Doctor, just have a multi-Doctor story for the 60th being filmed in 2022 or something like that. That'd be interesting, I think.
I have seen that rumor, and I've seen a few people speculate that they might bring, Stephen Moffat. I think he's probably the most likely to bring Stephen Moffat back, and then they write the 60th with like probably his Doctor, probably Matt Smith, I'm imagining, and then it's a multi-Doctor story, but it doesn't have the current Doctor. And then in 2024, they bring the new showrunner in, the new Doctor. That could be a good solution. Although I feel deep down there's a higher chance that probably we're looking at 2023 either with no Doctor Who or they're going to bring the new Doctor. What they could do is maybe, if we're lucky, start series 14 early 2023, maybe do like a 6-episode series, and then obviously in late 2023 you can do the 60th anniversary as normal, and then you can still do the multi-Doctor. Although, would that be too soon for a new Doctor still, even if it
I
is
Yeah, I would actually be up for that idea. Like you just said, like have the 14th Doctor start early next year, and then just instead of a Christmas special, have a 60th, after the year. Because I think Peter Davison had one new series, and then he had the 5 Doctors, so it could work. But yeah, if we got Stephen Moffat back, I hope to God Stephen Moffat writes the Doctor saving Gallifrey again and going, haha, Chris Chibnall, because he
yeah,
destroyed.
it's going to be interesting dealing with the future of the Timeless Child arc. Obviously, we don't know at the moment what's going to happen with series 13, if the Timeless Child arc is going to come. What do you want to happen with the Timeless Child? Do you want it to come back? Because it seems kind of split. Some of the fandom want it to be forgotten about, never talked about again, and then some people want it to be a bigger part of series 13. How do you feel about it? Do you want it to come back?
I think maybe I think I've tweeted or you've said a discussion of before is like I think to do the Timeless Child, then Portals sent the Roof Doctor little girl Doctor just through that portal, and then a Time Lord used her and abused her and made her regenerate or whatever. But I think then Portals are going to be an explanation of how the Doctor as a little girl got to our universe. I think we're going to start seeing them portals show up in series 13. It's going to explain a few things. But yeah, I think with the Timeless Child, we definitely, I think they should go forward with it. I don't think we should forget about it, because if you're going to bring something up like that, it's just going to mess up history even more. You might as well tackle this now, maybe try and iron it out to suit something in the future. But yeah, definitely don't forget about it, because otherwise it'd be like, what's the point? Plus, it will just mess up the show a little bit. Like we've just got an unanswered plot hole now.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should go forward in series 13, resolve it, get the answers. I think forgetting about it would be terrible, because then it's going to haunt the show forever, because we're going to have all these unanswered questions. Where's the Roof Doctor? What happened to the very, very first incarnation of the Timeless child. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of questions that need answered, and ignoring it would not help this show. People would just criticise it for getting forgotten about. The BBC can't win really in this situation. They're going to be criticised either way.
The biggest problem with the Roof Doctor is though she has the blue box in as a console as like a thing interior. So how did she get a blue box, and why is she traveling in it if the first Doctor's the one that kind of got stuck like it? So I guess she could fit in between the second and third Doctor for a character, but yet again that's more answered need explaining. So there's a lot riding on these last 9 episodes, and hopefully Chris Chibnall isn't just going to forget about anything. Hopefully he's bullet points of everything that he needs to answer, and hopefully he does it in a fun way. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think of, obviously, what are your expectations for Series 13? Are you excited? Well, obviously, there's a lot of changes. It's going down to 6 episodes. Obviously, it's going to be followed by 3 specials. Like, what are your expectations for the new series?
Well, if I had a flow chart, it'd go up and down, because like at points it felt like it was so far away that I weren't excited. Now I was excited again because they started filming. But now I feel like I know too much as well. Like we've seen villains leaked and stuff like that. So I'm kind of hoping Jodie's last story, we don't get any leaks, because then I would at least not know anything and they'd be excited for that. So, but the 6 episodes really kind of diminished me. I was like, oh God, are we going to stick to 6 episodes after this series though? That is the question. But so I'm up and down with what to expect. I think going into it with a 1 storyline plot, that is something I'm interested in. But is it going to really be 1 story throughout 6 episodes? Because yet we've got a time travel aspect of going to the past and future. So it's going to feel like single own episodes in some way. But yeah, I'm excited now, but I want a trailer to kind of show off what we already know and see it in its glory.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very excited for the series. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think it will obviously deal with the Timeless Child arc, and it'll be quite interesting. I do think going with the serialized approach is the best route, because I've said before, I think that would suit Chris Chibnall a lot more. And we haven't got a confirmation yet, but it is looking like Chris Chibnall will be writing the full series, because a lot of the writers who put Series 13 on their CV have now took it off. So it looks like, obviously, the guest writers aspect has been removed, which makes sense, because if it's going to be Chris Chibnall's story, he might as well write it all. So it's looking like a completely Chris Chibnall written series as well.
I didn't know that they'd been took off. That's interesting then. So they really had to change things for COVID. I thought they didn't have to change that much, just kick out like 2 episodes. So that's interesting.
Yeah, also we don't have official confirmation yet, but I know Doctor Who Production News and that have mentioned it, that I think Ed Heim and Maxine Aldrin had Series 13 on their CV, but they've now, it's now being removed. And I'm like, is that because they're just being secretive and don't want people knowing that they're writing for it? Or is it because they're no longer writing Series 13, which would make sense with the announcement it's now going to be serialized?
I think they're going to go with different styles still, though, because there's different directors on. Because I was watching yesterday's video of Mr. TARDIS, and he was talking about this person who's doing the pirate episode and stuff. So there is going to be different directors. So there is going to be different tones for each story in some way. Then it's not just going to be one thing. But that is interesting if they've took out the writer aspect and Chris is full force hands-on with this. So yeah, it is interesting.
Which I think is good and bad, because I do like Chris Chibnall's writing, but at the same time, a bit more variety. I don't know if having every single episode be written by the same person might get a bit bland. I don't know. It just depends how Chris writes it, really.
Yeah, hopefully the views do well as well. But like, I think also with the views of Series 13, we'll have a lot more on iPlayer as well. So there's that to look forward to. Like because a lot of people like to not just like binge watch the whole series. So hopefully we wait until the series is finished to binge watch that. But that's the thing as well. I've just thought of the box sets. How are they going to release these box sets of Series 13? Because it's specials as well. Are we going to wait until the specials are done to have the box set, or are they going to do it like Series 10, like first part and second part? That'd be interesting.
I'd imagine what they'll do, because I've done it throughout this era, is they'll probably release Series 13 as a box set, including the 6 episodes. Then they'll release the New Year's special. and then it'll probably be the Easter special. I imagine it probably will be Easter, and then obviously they'll do the BBC special, and then they'll probably release it all together because they do like doing that this era, because they released Revolution separately, so I'd imagine they'll continue it.
Yeah, I've actually, the first time ever, I always buy the special and the series, but then the special always ends up in the series box set. So this time I actually haven't bought Revolution of the Daleks because I'm waiting for it to come out in the box set, but now I'm unsure whether it will as well. So
that's a good point. They probably will include it in series 13 box set, but then maybe because of the longer gap, they won't. That's a good point. Although I don't normally, I do buy them, but I don't think the new box sets are that great anyway, because of the special features. If you've watched them, you know that they aren't that great these days. I've definitely lost a lot of them.
Yeah, R.I.P. Confidential. Missed that.
I really hope the BBC Three. It's unlikely. Maybe the new era though. Obviously, BBC Three is coming back next year, so could there potentially be the return of Doctor Who Confidential? Maybe.
I hope there's a return of it because, like, Confidential used Torchwood as the spin-off, so hopefully we could get a different spin-off for Confidential. Hopefully someone looks into that for Doctor Who because they're going to need shows.
Yeah, I really hope the new era brings, hopefully a new spin-off at some point. There's obviously, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's like a new SFX magazine was hinting at an upcoming Doctor Who announcement. I don't know if you've seen that yet. It's on Twitter quite a lot. Obviously, people are saying that may be a new spin-off. I find that unlikely because Chris Jimbo is currently leaving, and the chances of getting a spin-off just when he's out the door, it's pretty unlikely. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, the thing is, with Russell T Davies, he had hands-on with Sarah Jane and Torchwood and Doctor Who, yet he had someone to help him with Torchwood. But, like, with Class, it was separate to Moffat. Like, a new writer did that. So I think they need to be in contact with the showrunner to do a spin-off and make it successful. Otherwise, it's just going to feel like a completely different project and it's not going to tie into Doctor Who that well. So the showrunner, whoever that will be, also needs to be in contact with whoever's going to make the spin-off if it were to happen. Otherwise, it won't work.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think doing a spin-off completely different for Chris Chibnall at this moment of time is the right thing to do. They should wait till the next showrunner's in place. And I probably think SFX magazine, they're probably hinting at something to do with Big Finish, like a new Big Finish series. Or obviously the Mirror are rumouring that the 14th Doctor will be announced soon. So maybe it's that. We're going to get the new showrunner, new Doctor. That could happen, I guess.
I think also I just thought of right now, I know it's off topic, but like with Unit, him taking Unit out the equation, I wonder why Chris Chibnall chose to do that because he hasn't done anything to bring them back. So I thought, oh, he's going to bring them back. He's going to make them big and interesting. But actually, he's just took it out of the equation so you don't have to deal with it, it feels like. So I wonder how the new showrunner will deal with Unit or stuff like that because that is a big thing as well.
Yeah, it's weird. He took the Torchwood out and then he took Unit out, and now he hasn't done anything with them. So unless they're going to make an appearance in Series 13, pretty pointless, really. He hasn't really done it for anything, which is really weird.
Yeah, it just feels like, oh, that's more work. So I'm going to take that out of the equation so I can just focus on this. It might feel like, but like, yeah, I just found that quite interesting. Yet obviously, I think we were talking about it the other day, like the Weeping Angel thing that has Unit in, I think, or the Time Fracture. So they are still connected to Doctor in some way. It's just not in the actual TV show at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. I don't know what the next showrunner is going to do with that. We'll have to wait and see. But I guess the final question is, what would you like to see happen in the special next year? Obviously, Jodie's final episode. There's a lot of rumours. Sylvester McCoy is coming back. Obviously, people are saying David Tennant, but we're seeing David Tennant in London, so that's looking incredibly unlikely. But what would you like to happen in Jodie's final episode? Would you like it to be multi-Doctor? Would you like it to just be something else, maybe a multi-Master story?
I don't know if it's too soon for a multi-Masters. We've just feels like it just had that, but yeah, I don't know. I would like a Doctor to appear because, like, if we're not getting a 60th, we might as well. But also, I would like, if it's to do with Jodie's last story, I kind of want her to save the day if she does have a Doctor there. But then fans are just going to be like, well, what was the point of having that Doctor there? You were just doing that for audience views. And I was just like, well, at least we got something. But yeah, I don't know. 13, I feel like she needs to go out on a high. But I think also it might deal with losing Chris Chibnall, a Doctor, and the Companions all in one. Because I have a feeling the Companions are going to stay into the final story, to be fair. But then also it's going to feel like we're missing Ryan and Graham because they are like the first faces of the Doctor saw or something like that. Or are we going to forget about that? But yeah.
I guess when you think about it, maybe the special will just be focusing on the Doctor regenerating. Something happened to Dan, something happening to Yaz, bringing back probably Graham and Ryan. They're probably going to be there in some capacity. So maybe that's it. And when they say blockbuster, they're not meaning multi-Doctor. They're just meaning a lot's going to happen, which would be a surprise if we get like a companion death or anything like that. And we have 2 companions leaving, 2 companions coming back. Like, I guess it could make up the runtime pretty well, even if it's not multi-Doctor.
Yeah, I do wonder what is going to be the cause of it, because I would love the Master to be the reason, but I could also, I don't know how this scenario is going to play out. Like, who would actually defeat Jodie in that way? Like, it's not going to be the Daleks, I don't think, but I think potentially the Master or something's going to happen. So that'd be interesting. Yeah.
I agree. I think probably the Master, probably you're right. Sacha Dhawan is probably going to be back for the final episode. He must be if this is their last chance, and with him looking likely he's not in series 13 because he was filming something else, a new TV show. They're probably going to bring Sacha back for the final story. I think that's near enough a given, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, and also I wonder where this. Obviously, Dan is gone. That after this, I think he's a one-hit wonder. But Yaz, that's a question. Would she stay on? Because she hasn't been rumored to do any other roles recently or planning to. So, would she stay on with the 14th Doctor? That is an interesting thing to say as well. Like, or will they just get rid of all of everyone in one episode? Yeah.
I guess that'll come down to whoever the next showrunner is. But I would be up for Yaz staying on. I think Yaz has a lot of potential, especially if the new showrunner does more stuff with her. I guess the only concern there would be the marketing way of it, because if you have a current companion staying on, it might turn people away. But I think Yaz Mandip's a great actress. I would like to see her stay on, because I remember watching her in Hollyoaks back in the day. She can definitely do a lot more, and I really wish the writers would do stuff with her, because she's a police officer, but they've done absolutely nothing with it. We've had nothing pretty much from Yaz.
Yeah, it's like she's got a family there, but we're not focused on that. And then it's like she's got a police officer role, so we could experience something like that, but we haven't really. So it's, I don't know really. I'm kind of up for a fresh start, but I'm also like, well, if anyone were to stay over, I would kind of prefer it to be Yaz, just because there is potential there and there is story there. Plus, I don't actually go for the love interest between the Doctor and Yaz, but if there was one, it'd be interesting how she handles it with a new Doctor. Would she just disown the Doctor like Clara did with Series 8 or what? But there's story there, so yeah.
I feel it's good potential, especially if they do go down the Phasma route and they get them together, and then obviously last minute the Doctor regenerates. It's a possibility. I think it will come down to whoever the next showrunner is, because I'd imagine it won't be up to Chris Chibnall. If Chris Chibnall wants it to stay on, I don't think the BBC would allow him to write that in. I think they would need to get approval from the next showrunner instead of just
Yeah.
writing it.
Yeah, because it's like with Pearl Mackie, she wanted to stay on, I'm pretty sure, but there wasn't Christian, not like he didn't want her, but like for some reason she didn't, but she did want to stay on, and she only did one series. So it is just like if the showrunner just doesn't want her, then she's going to be written out in some way. Like that is something that we've seen before. So yeah.
Yeah, because apparently the plan was for the Doctor and Bell, the 12th Doctor, to stay on for part 1 of Series 11, and then they would regenerate probably 6 episodes in, something like that. But apparently, don't know if this is true, it's what I've heard, but apparently Peter Capaldi turned it down. He didn't want to stay on for just half a series, which makes sense. I would probably do the same in his position. There's no point staying on just to be removed 6 episodes later. So if that's true, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I honestly, with Peter Capaldi's decisions, like he is a fan and he's such a lovely guy. Like, I also he's direct stuff and stuff like that. He knows what he wants. Like, he makes the decision. I respect him for that. Like, if he feels like his character's done, then he's gonna go with Stephen Moffat. Like, a lot of fans are annoyed that he won't want to return, and I'm a massive Peter Capaldi fan, and I'm sad that he's not gonna go. But I also respect him for that. Like, he knows, like, go why everyone's loving you, not like diminish that in any way. So like I'm kind of respecting him for his decisions with that. But yeah.
I agree. I would love to see Peter Capaldi return, but obviously done an interview recently saying that he doesn't really feel up to it. At the moment, that could change. I'm sure the BBC can maybe convince him. But the bigger ones, Christopher Eccleston, I would love it if they got him back to the 60th, if that's possible. 'Cause I've listened to him recently on Big Finish, and he definitely could still do the role. And I think maybe with some convincing, they could do it, maybe.
I just remember Chris Chibnall was on his way to Big Finish, and Loose Women or something. It was some like interview I saw it on
Yeah.
YouTube, and she asked him, "Are you going to be back in the actual TV role?" There, and he was like, "If ice would freeze you the hell or something like that." He said, and basically no, no, hell no, sort of thing. But like, yeah, it's nice to have him in Big Finish, but I could never see him returning in that way. But I've spoke to him, and he is a lovely guy, and he just speaks to fans, and he's not as scared to talk about Doctor Who. It's not like he has flashbacks in the worst way. He will talk to you about the show. So it's not like that. He doesn't disrespect the fans. It's just he had a terrible time filming that, so I don't know whether you'd want to go back to that. But yeah, I mean, I'm up for any sort of Doctor to return, really. It's just nice to have them in some way. But yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. If I could have any Doctor return, it would be Christopher, definitely. I would like Sylvester McCoy. I think it would be pretty good to come back. A classic Doctor. I think Sylvester could still do it, and obviously Matt Smith. I would love to come back. I think he would do it, but I think at the moment he's filming like a Game of Thrones spin-off or something like that. So I don't think it'll happen for the special next year. But if they do a 60th special, I definitely think Matt Smith would come back as long as his scheduling allows.
Yeah, well, I guess I would say the Roof Doctor, Paul McGann, and Sylvester the most likely to return at the moment. Like I called out, like I made a video like 6 months ago saying like the Seventh Doctor, I'm more than just any Time Lord. He was shouting to Davros or something like that in a classic episode, and everyone was like hinting that was the start of some sort of Timeless Child story, which Chris Chibnall fulfilled on. So it just makes sense for him to return in some way to reason why he knew more than what he knew, sort of thing that just never got done. But also, yeah, with Matt Smith, I think, yeah, he's doing Game of Thrones like he would if he could. Dave Tennant, he's doing some drama, and he's got long hair, so it's kind of hard to hide that at the moment. Chris is a no-go, I think. So yeah, Paul McGann, Ruth or Doctor, and Sylvester are best of hope, I think. But yeah.
I think it'll definitely come down to the special next year. I think if the special next year isn't multi-Doctor, there's probably more chance we will get a 60th special because they haven't celebrated it in a big way. But if it is a multi-Doctor special next year, then I have a feeling the BBC are going to get away with either no Doctor in 2023 or doing something very little. Like maybe we'll get like a squeakquel to like Adventure Space of Time, the documentary by Mark Gatiss. That would be good. But I think we need a series at least, even if it's just on the new Doctor. I think we need at least a series rather than no Doctor at all.
The best case out of worst case scenario is the 14th Doctor series airs the end of 2023. I think that's the best scenario we can hope for if we don't get a 60th. But yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm sure we'll find out in due course. But yes, it's been quite a good video. We've went up to nearly 50 minutes. I think it's the longest Doctor Who video I've ever done on the channel, which is good. But before we finish up, I just want to let you have a minute to share your channel, let people know what you're all about, where they can find you on social media, stuff like that. So go away, just promote your channel for a second.
Okay. Well, I'm a YouTuber called Go Doctor Who. I do news, reviews, theories, top 10 rankings. And I've been talking about the spin-offs. Recently, I'm talking about the classic era of Doctor Who at the moment. I will be talking about Class before Series 13 starts. And then I'm going to go full force talking about Series 13 before the end of the year. I have Twitter called Go Doctor Who. And I have TikTok, which is my name, Connell Higgins 1. So yeah, fun, wacky videos. I also subscribe to William Who because he is incredible. And he's also getting to nearly 2,000, I do believe. So yeah, subscribe to him as well because that's incredible. But yeah, almost 50 minutes an episode of Doctor Who right there.
I know I've done well, 50 minutes. That's the longest Doctor Who video I've ever done on the channel. But yeah, as I said, please subscribe to Go Doctor Who. He's nearly at 600 subscribers. Also, check out his TikTok. Are you over 1,000 on TikTok now? Am I right?
Yeah, I'm almost at 1,500 on TikTok now. I seem to be doing well on TikTok, doing wacky or reviews on other shows and stuff. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah. TikTok's kind of a very popular platform these days. So yeah, do check out. I will leave a link to Go.2's YouTube channel in the description below. So just go and check that out. And I'm sure we will do another podcast or another live stream at some point in the near future. Maybe when we get a new Series 13
Yeah.
trailer, which I imagine will happen in September around that time.
Yeah, series trailer breakdown I'm up for, or talk about the series after it's finished. So yeah, there's always more there. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely do something. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. As always, subscribe if you're new. Check out the channel. Check out my previous videos from this week covering all the rumours. As I said, go check out Go.2's YouTube channel in the description below. And yeah, we will be back soon with more Doctor content. Thanks all for watching, and we'll see you
Bye.
next time. Take care. See you later.